Good afternoon and welcome once again for another interesting and exciting session of knowledge sharing. This session is really interesting uh, because we will go deep to discuss how leaders from different domains within the company, often having conflicting roles, collaborate and work together to drive successful tech investments. Yes, we will explore the relationship between the finance powerhouse CFO and the technology leader CIO, how they work together, how they manage conflicts to drive successful tech investment. As this is nothing new that driving successful tech relationship is what every company is looking for their better future and success. So let me introduce you with my panelist. I have with me Mr. Raghupati Mishra. He is CFO at Global Steel Major, and he is a veteran CFO over 2 decades of experience. Welcome, Mr. Mishra. I also have with me Mr. Kiran Komatla. He is Group CFO at he is Group CTO at a restaurant brand Asia. He has also hold the position of CIO for several top companies. Next, we have with me Mr. Vishal Haikerwal. He is Digital Transformation Evangelist from Oracle India. Welcome, sir. We also have with us CM Grover, MD and CFO, IBSFINtech. Welcome, Mr. Grover. Just a short information. We were also having with us Mr. Avidot, who is CIO at Wari Engineerings, but unfortunately, due to a sudden emergency, he has to miss out. So I will start with. I request audience to give a huge welcome clap for our speakers. Mr. Mishra, starting with you, the role of CFOs and CIOs are very different. So I just want to know from you, like, what are the possible differences? What are the plausible conflicts that arises while working with CIO? And what are your strategies and solution for it?
Good afternoon, everybody. Nice to see full desks everywhere. And thank you, Economic Times CFO Summit, for inviting me to this place. Pleasure and honored to be here. So, first, Alekh, what I would do is that I would state the obvious what are the basic facts of an organization and how they function. So we all know that, but I'm just building my perspective from that. You see, the enterprises that we are discussing are basically commercial organizations and they are working for profit. The objective is to maximize wealth. And they are not any charitable organizations, any foundations and all, right? So the basic objective of this organization is to earn profit and maximize wealth. We are there for this purpose only. This is the basic thing we all need to understand. Now, if you come to various CXOs, the management that runs the organizations are various CXOs. Let's understand. Let's see, the CEO would want the organization to, let's say, have 5,000 crores of turnover right now. He would also want to have a 10,000 crore of turnover. So he will come to you and say that this is the strategy we should make, how we should go to X and all. The CMO, the Chief Marketing Officer, would come to you, and then you would have different brand, Toma, top of mind awareness, top 3 brands, this market leadership in this segment, that segment, and all. That will be his perspective in terms of his job descriptions. The chief sales officer will come and he will have this segmental dominance over this product or this region or this, which product, what kind of product you are offering, the sales service. So the CHRO would come, he would want to attract and retain top talents. So he would work for better pay, better facilities to employees and all. All these are genuine goals. Like, and I would come to last, not the least, the CIOs. By the way, 1:3 we are. And I am game for it, sir. So, then the CIO would have the latest technology to be implemented as far as possible so that manual interventions are not there. The network is secure and you have less manual work to be done. All are automated kind of. These are all genuine work and genuine objectives that each of these CXOs will come. However, the CEO and CFO, and mostly the CFOs, would have different kind of stakeholders management that he has to do. Like the shareholders, who are the owner of the company, the promoter, who has a chunk of large shareholder and he actually runs the organization. Would have the lenders, the bankers and the financial institutions who has lent you good money, even in sometimes more than the shareholders has given. Then you have the board. The board of directors are there who are in a governance mechanism and all they held, and they are primarily responsible for the management of the company, and they have appointed you, the CXOs. Then you have the government agencies. You have the taxation, this thing, income tax, GSTs, and Companies Act, and all the stakeholders who are there who you need to cater to. The CFO basically need to cater to. So on all these things, the CFO would have a different perspectives, which is a multilinear kind of thing and a complex and quite a few things that is there. Unlike he doesn't have the luxury of being unidimensional like the other CXOs that I described, right? Then coming to what and how is the organizations are run. They are run by what is the mission and what is the mission statement where you want to achieve in, let's say, 5 years, 10 years time, the long-term goal, the objective that you are going to fulfill the organization. And then if you reduce that to a short-term period, most of the organizations, I think all of the organizations, work with a business plan, right? So annual business plan is there, and then it is divided into quarterly and half yearly and monthly and all. So if it is in calendar driven organization, so January to December the ABP is there. So whatever the organization has to do is within the ABP. Then you need to drive the ABP, and the onus of driving the ABP lies with the CEOs and CFOs, and mostly the CFO drive it, the review and all, and how it is happening, the uh, uh, release of money and all according to that only. So CFOs and CIOs have a beautiful relationship. There is no conflict as such, if you see. However, the way both look at each things are different. Somebody is sitting there, he is looking here, it might have a different view than I am sitting here and looking at. So if the CFO most of the CFOs understands that technology has to be upgraded and you can't have a choice over it most of the times. However, what kind of technology, where, how much, what are the existing technology we are using, whether the new incumbent technology and the coming technology are speaking to each other, what benefit we will get, cost benefit analysis, the organizational objectives are intertwined into it and all. These are all the things that the CFOs will be applying whenever he is evaluating any fund for any fund allocation for the new technology. Whereas the CIO will have in his mind that what are the new technology that are coming, what benefit the organizations will come, or whether we should have redundant technologies and what are his customers like the sales or operations or customer service are asking from him to implement it because it is now work that everybody is working in a particular software. So the difference of opinion comes or the perspectives comes from these two things, which is welcome actually. This healthy debates has to happen in an organization for the organization to evaluate both the ways of thoughts and finally arrive at a solution. Thank you.
Very meaningful, Mr. Mishra. I will now move to Mr. Kiran. Sir, you have served as CIO for several big companies. So I want to I want to share with you first how much you agree with Mr. Mishra, like about the beautiful relationship he was discussing between CFO and CIO. And my next point I want you to highlight is like how do you collaborate with CFO, and how do you explain him like in terms of ROI and in terms of other financial objectives, the role of technology and the investment you are making in it. Uh, yes, Mr. Kiran.
Yeah, good afternoon. Um, as a CIO, first foremost thing is for any organization is a change management. Digital transformation is a very broad word or the buzzword. But first of all, going into any technology implementation, as Mr. Mishra rightly articulated, how an organization and what are the roles of individual CXOs. So the role of CIO, CTO is more to get a right solution which is sustainable and which can be scalable and which is more secure. So this is a viewpoint of a CIO before getting into any solution or getting any new implementations. So throughout my career, so the closest friend or the person who we hand in hand work with is CFOs. Inevitably, CFO and CIO should be on the same page for implementing any solution. Both have a same goal to drive. One is the growth and one is how to make profit to the company. And when it comes to technology, so today we are in a world where the landscape is completely dynamic. By the time you assess a solution, you want to implement and you go for approvals and you get budgets, that solution may be redundant also. Couple of decades back, if you implement any solution, the kind of timelines used to be 3 years, 5 years. Today, even if you have to implement a ERP, the timelines is not in years, it's in months. Because when you are adopting a solution, it's not that initially it used to be like technology heads means you used to have a data center, you have to have few servers, you have to manage your in-house application, legacy application. Today it's so complex that it's not one application. When you talk about digital transformation, when you talk about automation, you have complex applications which need to be integrated and seamlessly the activities has to happen with provided complete security, the cyber security, compliance. So it's not a vanilla thing, it's too complex. So in that harmony, if you are changing any application or if you are upgrading anything, it has both pros and cons. We have to look into all this and we have to see that this is aligned to business goals. The change management is not only the application changes, but it's also the cultural change. Today, post-COVID, at a CXO level, many people are talking about technology. That's a good thing which is happening. Before it's one on other CXOs, we used to sell technology and technology has not been very welcomed by many of these CXOs or boardrooms. But today, it's completely changed. It's like they are asking what's next. Having said, it's not one fit for all. You have to understand what is your business, what is your requirement of that particular technology, and make a assessment. And it's not necessary that we have a heavy investments to get that technology. Today, at least, we are in a world where we have everything as service. your software is a service, your network is a service, name a solution, name everything is in a service. So now how we look at it is, we look at which need to be a proprietary solutions, which you need to own it or you need to invest it, and which are the services or applications which need to be adopted as per the need, and then it can be upgraded with a lighter capital investment. That's how has to be aligned. So then I don't think there will be a conflict with a CFO. It's more of collaboration. And more than change management in the application, the more change management is the culture. It's not, I always believe, I used to think in this way is, it's not a IT project, it's a business project. If you are implementing any solution or if you are bringing any technology, until unless that solution is embedded to the business goals and every CXO is being able to adopt that, it never can be a successful project. Otherwise, it will be one of the solution which will be in your back office, which no one uses. It should not be in that way. It's more of business project. So as a strategy, as a CIOs, we try to collaborate with business. We make them as the project champions. We involve them. Then there will not be any rejection. So there will be more of inclusion. They come up with their challenges, and if we have given a solution which addresses their solutions, they will join. And today's world is again from a more of a physical, it went to digital. It became a multi-channel, multi-channel show. Today it is more of a uni-channel. You may have n number of channels, but all should talk in the same language. Your customer experience should be same. Your scalability. Some organizations are study in nature of their business, but some organizations are very agile, and the kind of expansion it happens, you should also see that something you are investing today should be sustainable, and it should be also scalable for next whatever the business plan, or it may be years coming, because every year you cannot keep changing or upgrading your solutions. It should be a scalable solution when you talk about implementing a solution. So in my experience, I dealt with many CFOs. Mostly they are cost conscious. Obviously, their KPI is to drive the profitability and not to write off your assets. At the same time, if you come up with the right solution, and if you can show the use cases and the return on investment, I don't see there will be a conflict between CFO and CIO. It goes hand in hand. Both are responsible for the business goals.
Very meaningful, Mr. Kiran, and both you, Mr. Mishra, and you have highlighted all the flowery points between the relationship between CFO and CIO. I will now go to Mr. Vishal. Mr. Vishal, you are a digital transformation expert. So I want to understand from your experience, when you look at digital transformation, what do you think are the key factors that thrives the relationship between CFO and CIO, and how these factors contribute organization for driving successful investment?
Thank you. I think I'm audible. Good afternoon, everyone. Are you guys tired? So where is the energy? Let's have some noise. Please motivate me. So good afternoon, everyone. And yeah, so it's a very interesting question about CIO-CFO relationship, and thanks. We have been hearing the panelists. So digital transformation of finance is all about increasing the efficiency, accuracy of finance processes, where IT is just the enablement, adoption of AI, ML, cloud technologies, blockchain, etc., is for the business transformation. So CIO-CFO relationship is not just important, it is the most important thing. Without that, the collaboration between these two departments, things cannot move. So there are certain factors, there are 6 factors which are very important for CIO-CFO relationship improvement. And to make it very easy, I've kept it like A, B, C, D, E, F. So A is about alignment of objectives and goals. So whenever there is a project, what are the goals, what is the objective, what is the ROI, what is the KPI, etc., has to be aligned between CIO and CFO at very start. then it makes sense. Otherwise, it becomes a IT project, which, no one will just adopt blockchain for the sake of it. There has to be an objective, and that is all has to be agreed at the start of the project itself. Then B is about business knowledge. If you are doing a business transformation, the IT team, the CIO team cannot be just a technical team. It has to be a business team. They should understand what are the business pain areas which the other people are facing. Then only they will be able to contribute. On the other side, CFO should also understand that what are the trends going on, what is the latest technology, etc., etc. So business knowledge is very important. C is about establishing collaboration, communication, as well as cadence process. So if a project is moving, how people will collaborate, etc., is very important for enhancing this relationship between two departments. D is about defining roles and responsibilities. So when multiple departments are coming together, it is about what, who, why has to be done by whom, when, etc., etc. So if the roles and responsibilities are very clear, the conflicts will be very less. Okay, then E is about execution plan. There has to be agreed execution plan. It's not that March is coming and you have to go live. See, everyone has to be available. There has to be a agreed deadline of what can be done, what cannot be done, what can be phase one, what can be phase two, etc., etc. And it is between the various departments coming together. And last thing which I have added, and I feel it is very important, is a fun factor. See, when multiple teams are working together, it is a collaboration. You have to have a culture where multiple teams are coming together, working. That means there has to be celebrations for the small success which are happening on day-to-day basis. And when everyone will start promoting each other, there cannot be any failed project. It will be a success. So these are certain factors where if CIO, CFO will collaborate, I am sure that most of the projects which are going on will be successful. Thank you very much. Thanks.
I noted your point. Like you said, CFO CIO relationship is not important. It's the most important, right? And very
Digital
important.
transformation. Thank you.
Great point. Mr. Grover, I will now like to get a sense from you. Like, what are the challenges a company faces when CFO and CIO like work separately and don't have a much proper coordination among themselves, and how the funding and the investment are affected by it.
Thanks. First, I'll correct Mishra's statement that it is 1:3. One CFO, 3 IT. I am a banker owning a technology company, so I tilt towards you also, Mishra. So little balancing act. So CIO, CFO relationship is, I think all the three have spoken. We provide technology, product, solution to corporates. And with whom we deal, these two people. The situation is what Mr. Mishra mentioned, different stakeholders, right from the government, board, CEOs, and other CXOs. Everybody wants everything from CFO. Perfect. You should be properly compliant. Your data should be accurate. Whenever you want a click of button, I should get the information. And you should control the expenses. Not hire many people. And on his own, CFO decides not to spend money on technology. So this is one side. The other part is, it is CFO who decides that yes, because of the value deriving out of this, you can't mismanage the board, you can't be faulting in the compliances. Your processes, your monitoring, your control should be perfect. How it can happen? Only one way. You should have, first of all, processes in place, controls in place. But how to ensure that whatever processes you have set, whatever controls you have put, it's performing, it's working fine, and it's delivering what is expected out of it. Here comes the technology piece. Market from, I should say, 5 years back to 7 years back, the transformation is happening in this relationship itself, CIO and CFO. These two work in silos, and scenario which is not uncommon. If you have to manage cash, take cash management system. If you have to see supply chain, you take supply chain finance system. If you have to manage treasury, take treasury system. If you have to manage your wealth, you take a wealth management system. If you have to manage or automate your bank guarantee LC, take that piece. What challenge used to come, or rather coming, forget about Excels, spreadsheets. Still, the surveys shows globally, more than 86% of the corporations' treasury and finance operations are on Excel. This is not my statement. This is the way things are happening. Most, I should say, I don't say neglected, most less automated department is the CFO's department. Most critical heart of the company is CFO. Everything moves from there only. System, so what is, the checkbox is ticked. We have digitized. But are you deriving the benefit at the apex level? The benefits of the digitization. Do you get on a single click, do you get a complete information? No. Supply chain is a function of treasury, but treasurer may not be knowing. He has to, cash and liquidity forecasting, in isolation it works. You are supposed to adhere to a 60% hedging policy of the internal, approved by the internal board. With your past performance, you decide, yeah, we are 60%. You will come to know after 15 days, when the reconciliation will happen, that we were adhering to the policy of the board or not. This is where the whole crux lies. So it worked in silos. We are, for the last 10 years, we have seen very closely this. But what is happening in the last 5 years? The CFO breed is changing. They are becoming tech savvy. They have started telling the CIO what I need, what kind of technology, what kind of area. And in certain organizations globally, not only in India, the reporting structure itself is being changed because ultimately CIO has to go to CFO for the budget approvals. So why not club both the people together? That is giving a different impact together. The need is emerging, which I think Mr. Mishra will agree. You should not only digitize, it should be a real-time connected ecosystem which gives me complete control and visibility. So that has resulted in a scenario which is now, because CFO himself is clear about the requirement and the controls and the compliances and the responsibilities toward the stakeholders, including board and investors. That has resulted where, and communication between the CIO and CFO has improved dramatically. It has gone into a collaborative mode. Earlier, people used to say, I need a system. The CIO will say, hey, ERP provides that for free, take it. But the treasury head will say, hey, it doesn't matter, cater to my requirement. It is a data entry system, I need analytics. That piece has started changing. So our experience in the market, that at the CFO level, funding piece has gone out. People are putting money, even if they are taking in silos certain softwares, but things have becoming different. As he told that you're having SaaS products. You need not invest heavily. All these things are, the demand of the market is changing the business models of the companies. And this is where this silo system is getting isolated.
You made a very interesting remark. you termed CFOs as the heart of the company.
Which is a fact.
So I just want to understand from you, how will you term CIO?
How will you?
What you will call CIO? If CFO is the heart, then what CIO is?
Artery.
Very interesting.
So he cannot work without. It's a digital transformation of any organization. It's not a buzzword. It is a basic need of an organization that they have to. We are the latest example. It's not the large companies. It's not the very large companies, only Reliance and this thing can have this thing. The emerging trend in Indian scenario I'm quoting, where a large bank is partnering with us to provide digital solution to SMEs, the companies which are 100 crore or 200 crore forex exposures. And interesting piece is, if we have done 25 demos, all the 25 promoters have said we want to automate and connect to the banks. So this is the emerging trend which cannot be stopped, and it will continue to grow. And CIO definitely. CFO cannot work without.
Meaningful. So, Mr. Mishra, you already informed, or you already have highlighted the hierarchy and how CFO CIO relationship work. I just want to understand from you, purely from the perspective of CFO, how the role of CFO is changing, how the role of CFO is evolving in driving successful tech investment, and how do you strategize that your investments are aligning to the company's long-term objective and financial growth, not just you are following the technological trends.
Thank you, Alekh. Actually, one of the management school of management thought is that if you want to get things done in a busy company with so many people, you look at who is the most busiest person and you give the new task to him. It will get implemented. This is the general management thought all over the world. क्योंकि जिसके पास काम है और वो कर रहा है, वो उसको पता है ना करना है, वो कर ही लेगा. तो वो डिजिटल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन हो, ESG हो, जो भी वो हमारे पास ही आता है फाइनली. इसमें कोई दो राय है नहीं. आप चाहे जितना उससे बचना चाहें, जितना CIO को आगे कर लें, चाहे CIO की रिपोर्टिंग हमारे को है, मेरे पास तो 10-15 साल से CIO रिपोर्ट करते ही हैं मुझे. तो at the end of the day it comes to you only. So that's how we need to do that. So we need to do. So now, but I can't keep my brain at home and come to work, right? So you want some salacious gossip, so you will get. Now see what CFO CIO relationships and how it happens is that. What are the expectation of a CFO for any fund requirement, for anything, whether it is a CIO or any other CXO or any intervention that comes, that what is it getting? Why and how, when, the total cost of it, what are you getting out of the organization getting, whether it is gelling with the larger organization objective and all. As my fellow panelists have also said, CIOs are terrific people, intelligent people, CIOs and CTOs are there, but they are mostly into their technology and all. ठीक है, उनसे थोड़ा बाहर निकलने में मुश्किल होता है उनको, फिर कि कॉमन सेंसिकल बातें करने में उनको भी दिक्कत होती. ठीक है, और हम चाहते हैं कि पैसा जहाँ लग रहा है वहाँ आप बताइए कि भाई साहब क्या हो. अब उसमें यही बात यही आती है कि नहीं ये तो करना है क्योंकि सब कर रहे हैं. अब नहीं कर तो फिर सवाल ये आता है कि नहीं कर लेंगे तो क्या हो जाएगा. दिस इज द कॉमन क्वेश्चन ऑल CFOs आस्क. भाई ये जो आप ला रहे हो, आप कह रहे हो सब कर रहे हैं, अच्छा ठीक है, नहीं करेंगे तो क्या होगा. So this is how it is that at a CXO level, it is expected that you are, which my fellow panelists told before also, I am reiterating that, you have to also be a business owner. Has to be the cost and revenue. If it is not a revenue centric thing, at least own the cost. Huh? You have to own the cost and tell what is the incremental benefit the organization will get out of this new implementation and all. And the CFO's perspective is that I think I don't get nowadays. I am not seeing anybody who is not open for technological digital transformation or new technology and this thing. I don't find any CFOs. If they are, then they will become dinosaurs. So I don't find that most of these 90% of them at least are open for digital, but have that rigorous check and balances to be put in place. Just because something is in vogue, just because some new technology has arrived, just because somebody wants it, just because it is the in thing to do, we don't go for that. Second part, as I was talking before, the budget and all, if it is a January to December budget, December, before January, December, you finalize the budget. So, if the CIO wants some new technology or something, or any other department requires something, they must inform before that this is your requirement. That's how the budget is made. Na? So suddenly, during April, somebody comes and say that the new technology is there, I need 50 crores for this and all. तो बॉस कहाँ थे अब तक? आपका टेक्नोलॉजी कहीं ऊपर से पैदा तो नहीं हुआ ना, पहले से आया, आपको पहले देखना चाहिए था जब बजट बन रहा था आपका. तो सडनली 50 करोड़ मांगोगे तो मैं कहीं और से तो दूंगा ना, मुझे एबीपी के थ्रू ही तो देना है उसको. मैं मतलब दिल से बोल रहा हूँ.
Really from heart. And I'm sure Mr. Kiran must be having lots of points to counter, and I will very soon come to you so that you can represent all the CIOs. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
So these are two main requirements that this is कि आपका पहले अगर जरूरी है तो क्यों है, और दूसरा आप एक टाइमली मैनर में इसको करना है. अगर तीसरा इसके कॉस्ट बेनिफिट एनालिसिस जैसे मैंने बताया ये सब होना चाहिए, और ये तब जाके आप इसको एक साथ प्रेजेंट कीजिए. आप इसमें से पहले लेके आएंगे मुझे ये करना है, उसके साथ डेटा नहीं है कोई भी, और हम डेटा के बगैर देखते भी नहीं है, क्योंकि क्या करना है देख के फिर. सो दिस इज हाउ इट इज. एंड सर, एज सर वाज trying to teach CFOs what they should do, and these are silos and all, sir, we know what we do, sir, right? And we are the last gate, sir. अगर हमने दे दिया अप्रूवल तो वो निकल जाता है पैसा. तो वी कैन अंडरस्टैंड वेंडर्स a little bit unhappy with us. That's the way we design it, sir. Thank you.
I think now we should seriously consider it 3:1, and I will allow all three of you to counter what Mr. Mishra said. I will start with Mr. Kiran, what you want to add or add to this. Also, what will be great if you share any recent example or something to our audience, that how you have derived any successful tech investment which CFO was not agreeing, or and it has eventually resulted better for the company. Yeah.
From Mishra, Mr. Mishra has made his point from his heart. So let us take it in a positive way. Two things is, first of all, I 100% agree, technology leaders should be business leaders. Then only company will be successful, as well as they will be leaders. Otherwise, they will be dinosaurs. I do agree with that. The second point is, obviously, now when he spoke about all the CXO roles, the chief people officer should ensure that they hire a business technology leaders. And that is evidently seen today. If you see, technology is not one department. Most of the companies are driven by technology. Technology is a front line now. Technology is not just a support function sitting in back, and you ask for Apple, you give Apple. If you ask for Microsoft, you give Microsoft. Technology leaders should have clear prospect where they are investing, what need to be invested. So that clarity comes if they understand business. If they only understand technology, there will be a conflict, as the tagline of this panel, it should not be a conflict, it should be a collaboration. Both should be agreed on what the investments they are doing and how they are doing, and it can be incremental. It not necessarily being putting a 50 crores. Like for an example, if there is a new technology today, before our panel, someone presented about AI technologies. So it's not necessary that I put dollars into AI and then understand that, oh, I kept this, but it is available in market for as a service. So rather go for a service, understand, make a proof of concept, see the return of investment, and then assess either it need to be invested in-house or it can be used as a service from the organizations. There are ways and means where CFO and CIO can sit, solve these conflicts without getting more budgets within the budgets. On a lighter note, one thing which always, as I'm representing CIO Fidelity, I'm telling, you cannot take a sick leave in advance saying that I will get sick in October. So this January, December budget doesn't work in this today evolving technology. Sometimes it happens that we budget something, but it may happen it's a need of the hour. You need to rework your plan, or you need to understand. Especially today, it's not only technology which is helping you. Technology is always a cutting edge which has two sides. One is doing good to you. One is destroying the cyber gaps which are coming today. The cyber security glitches which are coming, where sometimes you may need to do some ad hoc investments to safeguard your company. That is also a responsibility of CFO. But it all depends how you interrupt. If you're sitting on the opposite side and if you fight for it, it will be a conflict. If you're sitting on the same side and understand and come to the same goals, it works. Answering to your second question, rather me telling about what I did and a thing. Today, as Mr. Mishra said, things comes to finance and it comes through IT also, because anything happen right from a new employee laptop not working to CEO's visionary goal of global expansion, it comes to technology. So we are also always in a taking side. But having said, today if you see from last a decade, the digital transformation is well accepted at a CXO level, and the main transformation is happening more to CIOs. CIOs are getting more educated on technologies and trying to get right technologies. And in this process, if you see the growth, what you are seeing from last 5 years in any traditional organizations, I'm not talking about the e-commerce companies which come with technology, but if you go back and see the CIOs of traditional companies who are having a legacy systems have done an excellent job in terms of adopting themselves to the new technologies. Today, everything on cloud. You don't see a server in your organization. And applications are in your mobile.
Sorry to interrupt. You want to say the role of technology is evolving every day. So your message to Mr. Mishra is like every day you will be having new demands and you want a new budget.
No, not necessary every day. Sometimes it happens. So you cannot predict everything in a start of the calendar. Sometimes it happens. That's what I'm saying. You cannot sit on the opposite side of this chair and have a conflict. You have to come on the same page, either it is required or not. If both agree that, okay, it is required, but we don't want to take a call, it's a business call. If the business is ready not to take that and not to compete in that area, it's fine. But they have to come. But it's our responsibility to say that, yes, this is a new thing which has to come. If I don't say, if a CIO doesn't come and ask for it, then it's a crime. You know that there is something which is new you need to adopt, and you don't even want to speak because your budget is freezed. That's not the right approach. That is what exactly I meant to say.
Noted. So, Mr. Vishal, you have you are carefully copying what Mr. Mishra and Kiran was saying. So, I just want to understand from you, how do you suggest, or what from your experience, how do you think that organization should act, and CFO and CIO should collaborate together, that their the investment, the technological investment is towards the overall business objective, and and not unnecessarily it's just a spending because of evolving tech.
Yeah, thank you. And what I like to tell you is that when I came on this stage, I was a digital transformation expert. But I think when I leave this, I will become a relationship counselor because, especially between CFO and CIO, a great discussion going on. And this point is also about that. The question is that how we can ensure that all the investments happening on the IT is not just for the sake of trends and silos which is happening, and it is for the sake of the business. And it is obvious, means we have heard two experts talking about two views, because one's job is to go ahead and tell what is happening in the market, what are the things which are available, how company can grow, and the other job is to look into that, how that will be beneficial, how it is aligning to our business, how it is giving ROI, how it is giving my KPIs, and becoming, and the money, whether it is worth getting into that or not. So there are various departments which are there. But still there are 4 or 5 points which I like to just share. First thing is establishing of business objective goals, ROIs, before even getting into any investment is the most important thing, because it has to be driven from the perspective of what is that organization is looking for. Correct? It's not about just the technology. It has to align with the goals of your organization. That is a point number one. Second is whenever any technology decision is taken, there has to be involvement of business leaders. It is not only CFO and CIO, it has to be the business leaders overall, so that they know that, okay, this technology or this innovation or whatever we are trying to do will impact. These are the areas of the business which will be impacted. So the overall view is very important. Third is whenever there is a technology decision, it has to be comprehensive. It has to align, looked into the complete roadmap perspective, so that you know that the decision cannot be just a silo, but it has to align with the overall uh, goal of the organization when it comes to technology adoption. And last but not least is that there has to be a priority. What are the things which will impact the business the most? Those are the things which will be adopted first, and then there will be more things which will keep on coming, etc., etc. One more important thing is that there has to be collaboration, communication process, etc., to be established between both the department. But there has to be a commitment. The commitment has to come from the top management. Before, if there is no commitment from the business leaders, then it is very difficult to make a IT project into a business transformation project. So these are some of the points. And thanks. It has been great hearing the other
Very,
panelists.
very meaningful. Mr. Grover, a final question to you. I just want to understand from you that how can CFOs successfully manage business continuity and ensure that risk is managed by using the technology? If you can share your views on it.
One good part that discussion became interesting by Mishra ji. The heart of the company has brought out his heart. So दिल से बोला है तो बात ठीक है. But the fact of the matter, one thing, he's absolutely right. CFO says, I know everything. CIO's job is to see what is happening in the technology space. It is his duty for the organization to keep apprising, bringing up the things which are happening across the sector in their knowledge. Definitely, he cannot come and say, hey, give me 50 crore. But the fact of the matter is, it is his responsibility. And this is the purpose, that the leadership of the company should be knowing what's happening around, what could be best for our organizations, and need to manage the things best. And the time is changing fast. Nowadays, CFOs don't say that we know everything. They say, yes, we want to learn more, we want to adopt more, we are open for more. This is the time which is changing very fast, whether the companies like Cars24 or Swiggy, or the organization like Raymond's or Hindalco or Bharati. So this is the way people have started. When we go to the CFOs, they talk in that language. That is one. Business continuity for any organization, BCP is the most important thing which has to be taken care. And this, who is the better person or the more responsible person than the CFO? Because even if anything happens, it is whether it happens in IT, even then he has to be collaborate and manage those things, that it should not disturb the continuity of the business as usual. This is the most important thing. And how it can be achieved? It can be definitely achieved by taking a technology support. Again, you have to collaborate with CIO. Which technology, what technology, how much technology, what should be the cost of that, what is good for our scenario. It is not that the world is talking that we should have Gen AI or blockchain. It means everything will fit into our business goals and requirements also. It is not like that. It has to be in tune so that my business as usual should not be interrupted because of external or internal factors. There can be jerks for any reasons. And we all know the COVID is the best example for that.
Very meaningful, sir. Very meaningful.
We are
We can go whole day. We can discuss this topic as you all of you have shared really very meaningful points, and points have come out of your heart. So this discussion can go whole day, but we have the limitations of time. So just one final remarks from everyone in one line to end this up. Yeah, Mr. Mishra.
So it's a good discussion, and as I say in my opening remarks, there is no conflict, there is no dispute even. There is a difference of opinion regarding any matter that may arise, which is desirable, I mean welcome. And CFOs normally, they understand all of these, but you have to keep checks and balances, and nobody is disputing at this point of time digital transformation or anything else. But with each cost that you spend, it is the duty of the CFO to make all the CXOs understand that they are business heads and they have to incur any expenditure knowing that what they are doing. So this inculcating this habit and reminding them that we are not here, as I made the objectives of each of the CXOs, we are here to make profit. So if there is a new car comes in, so I want to buy that, but I am seeing that this time I can't buy it. Next year maybe I'll have that. So maybe if we can drive the same car for another 3-4 months and then buy a new car with the new technology coming in and all, and there is business continuity there, the sustainability is there and everything. If you have seen on all the CIOs and the business leader say, they were about sustainability and scaling up, but they have never uttered a word on cost. None of them. So that's what my responsibility is, to make them understand the word cost.
Sir, I will stop you here.
Thank you.
Otherwise, I have to allow everyone the same time to counter that. Mr. Vishal, concluding remarks from you.
See, the organizations are designed in such a way that there are different departments with certain objectives. There is a purpose. But all those are working for the organization. See, there is a role which CFO has, there is a role which CIO has, business has. But ultimately, what matters is that where your organization is going, what are the objectives of the organization, and everyone aligned together. So it is what Mishra ji is saying and what I've been hearing from Kiran. They are all, at the end of it, if there is a technology available at the prices which has a great ROI, he will say yes only. Because at the end of it, it is about the objectives of the organization. And that's the beauty, means the way an organization is established, and there are different departments. Otherwise, one person would have been the MD also, CIO also, sales also. When you start a business, it is always like that. The reason why these are there is so that they work and then finally achieve the goals which had been set by the organization.
Mr. Grover.
present time is a time of collaborations. Collaboration at every level. Before I tell CIO and CFO, we feel we are the example where we have collaborated with the ERP company, Oracle, and the data service provider like Refinitiv, London Stock Exchange Group, and we complete the complete pipe for the only one goal, to give the complete and the best to the client. Similar situation is with CIO and CFO. They are in a complementing role. The organization cannot move forward without the total collaboration and understanding between CIO and CFO. Though final pen will be with CFO because it's a cost and he has to approve the cost. But still, CFO cannot work without CIO. That is a fact. That is also a fact. It's a collaboration which will work.
Mr. Kiran, just a one statement to sum the discussion up. Yeah, in one statement if you can. Yeah.
So both, as I said earlier, CIO and CXO should work hand in hand in terms of implementation of any technology solutions. Today we have a plenty of solutions available in market. It's not that you have to implement everything. You have to understand what is a business goal, what is a requirement, and take sensible decisions. I strongly believe CIOs will not be rejected by a CFO if they go with a sensible business case and a return of investment. It will be, if it is not accepted, it's a loss to the company. No CFO will be that insensible to say, I will not invest.
My lesson from this discussion is everything that start flowery does not always end flowery. There are there are thrones to it. Yeah. So thank you so much. Thank you to our audience for listening a very insightful discussion very patiently. And thank you so much to our speakers who contributed very meaningful points. I just request our audience to give a huge clap for our speakers to conclude it. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.